What not so spiritual, synthetic, not so spiritual stream, not so synthetic anymore these days, considering I do actual mushrooms now, instead of just like synthetic or CO2. Well, I did both, but whatever. Anyways, so, I remember watching this video a little while ago. It was S.Crowder and S.Jones, who are both like very staunch Christians, and I heard S.Jones on Joe Rogan talking about, I think there's people at Silicon Valley or some sort of secret society, and they're taking massive amounts of DMT to get these, like, questions they have answered by interdimensional entities, stuff that's, like, patently ludicrous. But I want to say, because I saw they got a copyright strike for my cover of, We Almost Lost Detroit. Absurdly mediocre cover of We Almost Lost Detroit. And, got, I think, posted on YouTube guidelines that video because I was, like, number one, I was doing my own interpretation of the song, and for two, I was using that as a segue into a point that I was making. So that is not taking and re-uploading a video. That is, expanding upon it in your own way. And so yeah, that should be considered, using it for almost like educational purposes. Now, in any case, I found this video of S.Crowder. Man, I'm really not fond of. I used to be a fan of him like way back in the day when I was at a very dark place in my life. But I remember I first came across this video when I was really, really stoned, and it fucking had me on the floor laughing. So what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna start cooking dinner for my folks in a couple minutes here. Well, I mean, just as soon as I'm done with the cigarette. So you'll get to watch my cooking show, and as I make 21st century craft dinner, which is what I like to call fresh prep kits. Call me a lazy cook if you want. I mean, if I didn't have it, I would just make up what I could with what I have, but these things are surprisingly decent, and my parents always have them, so I am going to use them. Fucking soon. So, yeah, I want to reiterate, YouTube, this is a response video, not necessarily response. This isn't, oh, fine bros, how ridiculous is this kind of thing. In a way it is, but I'm not just laughing at it. I am going to be providing a commentary, so that should justify, playing the audio from the original video. So, keep that in mind. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Play me up, Dark Jazz. Okay. Oh, that fucking sound. Or that intro. Red Bar Radio you sell all the time. The sound on the soundboard.
And what they do in Silicon Valley. I have not had any experience with DMT.
No shit. Now you've had a lot of experience with that, though, haven't you?
It's fascinating to me that they talked about having shared hallucinations.
I've never heard Joe Rogan say that. I used to be a huge Rogan fan back in the day. Everything you said about DMT, I've heard. Yeah, you don't see the same thing because it's like the most suggestible experience you can have. Yeah, he made you look like a fool when you tried to talk about pot, didn't you? Okay. Bro, there are Christian churches that are, like, their central practice is to take hallucinogenic drugs. There's one in Brazil that's where Sting did ayahuasca and had his crazy trip. I mean, that's listening to that and Sting doing peyote is the only really interesting thing I've ever heard out of him. But anyways, here, I'll look up the name of the church right now, but I also know the Navajo church in the States, New Mexico, correct me if I'm wrong on that, could be Arizona, I think it's New Mexico. They are fundamentally Christian, and they take peyote, that is their sacrament. Just like your Eucharist is your sacrament. It's no different. Except, I mean, if you were to ask me, like, why Christianity was fostered by these churches that you would, in cultures that you would not expect Christianity to be present in, like, I would say that's probably because it's the only way, it's the only way they could survive. Like, it's the only way that 100 years ago they could continue practicing what they were doing, continue using their sacrament without being killed or, like, thrown into a residential school or something like that, you know, a re-education school. You know, fun fact, that's the Mormons did that with Native Americans a lot. Santo Daime. I'm pronouncing that wrong probably, but that's the Brazilian ayahuasca church, and there, even though they do like these like insanely geometric dances and stuff, I believe they have a mantra too as well as they do the ritual. It doesn't look like a Catholic ritual at all, but it is Catholic in nature. And then there's also that church that Hamilton Morris visited in the Vice documentary, where it was essentially similar to the Navajo churches, but using San Pedro, which is, you know, I think a much more preferable thing to do, considering peyote is nearly extinct, except, you know, I'm pretty sure the Navajos, they grow their own, so they are not the ones contributing to that extinction. It's people who are harvesting it for profit. Fun fact, I once bought $120 for peyote, which was equivalently one dose, and I gave it away because I just couldn't ethically take it after I heard that it is nearly extinct because the people, like the ones who sold it to me. Anyways, I'm going to start cooking while this goes on, and the acoustics are great in this kitchen, especially with my new speaker. So let's get back to the video here.
More prone to, let's call it, demonic or evil influence. Is that?
I've never encountered anything remotely demonic on DMT. The only scary thing I ever encountered, other than just the intensity of the body high, is the peacock entity I was telling you about, the one that was like jumping up and startling me, but it didn't look that evil. It just looked like a black shadow, or like a humanoid form, kind of like a shadow person. But you know, I know what that was, and I don't deal with it anymore because I integrated it. Maybe, Steven, you should integrate your demons, like, I don't know, being absurdly in the closet, like, obviously in the closet. The fact that you wear that wrist brace because it is a way of protecting yourself from, you know, people kicking your ass when you do your change your minds. And, you know, your, like, blatant Adderall addiction. I mean, not that I'm judging you too heavily for that. I take Adderall on most days, but hey, this is my third day off. You know, when did you have a day off? Fucking, your pupils are fucking more dilated than mine are at the end of the night. In the morning, too.
That is exactly what I was trying to say. I don't take DMT, I'm not taking that, I've never taken ayahuasca.
Alex Jones, please never take any of those things. You are patently mentally ill. I mean, I love you. I think you're fucking hilarious. It's unfortunate you had to get involved in the interaction, but do not ever take a hallucinogen, please, sir. Smoke as much pot as you want. I don't care. That's you. That's your life. Get drunk. It's hilarious when you're drunk. Do not take a hallucinogen. I think you'd be, like, in full-on psychosis if you're not already in full-on psychosis.
And I've talked to hundreds of people, it's the total waited for like 15 years where I live in Austin. And all these are doctors, they're signing, they say, yeah, we were down in Peru, or we were down in Costa Rica, or we were down in Malaysia, or whatever. Those videos, there was 100 of them, and we saw the spaceship land, and the aliens walk out, and we all saw the same aliens, and they all, and I'm not listening. The doctor goes,
Okay, now, you know what? I'm sure those people were probably friends of Stephen Greer. I don't know if you've seen his ridiculous documentary. It's like The Biggest Secret or something like that, which was one of the most disappointing things I've ever seen. But yeah, no, his sorry to spoil the documentary, but the big secret is someone found a little alien-looking thing that's probably like a weird foreign baby in Mexico, and he thinks you can communicate with extraterrestrials by meditating out in the desert. And I'm so sorry. Sorry, it just cracks me up. Hitting or calling them by flashing laser pointers into the dark, and they claim to have these like shared hallucinations of aliens appearing in like spectral form. They got it on camera, so it must be true. Anyways, continue, Alex.
but I think that's just a chemical. And you don't all see the same thing. Where's the where you can see your eyes, see a lot of invisible light. They're part of your brain. And so God has given us blinders to operate the third dimension and not go crazy, seeing all those stuff going on.
God has given us blinders. Now that's interesting because that to me actually now that motivates me to continue one of my main goals in life, which is to shed my programming. And I've expressed this before, but I was traumatized by fire and brimstone preachers into believing that demons were around every corner and they were gonna fucking rip off my balls and keep my balls hostage in hell before they even drop. And I think if your God is giving you blinders, that's unfortunate that he's treating you like a racehorse, But that says to me as well, though, that a lot of the spiritual movements you see these days are about removing those blinders. And spirituality for me is overcoming my programming, or in other words, removing blinders. And sometimes you can't overcome your programming. You just have to kind of hijack those ideas that are being ingrained in your brain, and you got to turn them into a direction that can help you grow and can help you come to your own insights. That is my lesson for you. Anyways.
Around the other dimensions. And so that's really what this comes down to. And San Francisco and the microdosing LSD elites and all of them, you see them on TV and they're under hot lights and you can't see their eyes. It's nothing but pupils.
Microdoses, never. Once I accidentally microdosed about 40 micrograms of LSD, and it didn't dilate my pupils. So they're not microdosing, if that's what you're talking about.
They are obsessed with this. And when I was a kid growing up, my parents had some friends who were research scientists out in San Francisco. They came to visit once. I was like 7, 8 years old. At the dinner table, hearing about government research projects where they're trying to go to space. They're like,
Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, Alex Jones claims that growing up, his dad worked for a super secret program at a military base, and his dad just would nonchalantly come home to talk about these things very openly to friends and family at the table. And why I don't believe this is because I remember hearing people who used to work at Nellis Air Force Base in a legit documentary on Area 51 where they said that the whole UFO thing was really just played up by the government as a way to distract people from, the invention of stuff like the YouTube bomber. But one guy, it was somehow known because they probably bugged the houses of the workers that he said something just that barely referenced what he was doing. Or no, what happened was he was a test pilot for YouTube, and he crashed it accidentally, and they thought he told his wife about the crash and that he could have been a Russian plan. So they abducted him and they shot him up with phenobarbital, which was considered a truth serum at the time. Hey, kitty, kitty. Yeah, Missy. Um, but yeah, say hello. Say hello, kitty. Say hello. She has like she had a little trauma from being born in a hoarder house. But anyways, yeah. So they kidnapped him. They shot him up with phenobarbital, a truth serum still used in India by police to this day. I mean, it is slightly effective because it puts people in a state like they're blacked out on alcohol. So you know, when you're blacked out, you just tend to say things that you wouldn't otherwise. But they're considered ineffectual because you know, people will also just say random things that don't make any sense. But anyways, he passed the test, I guess, and they brought him back to his house, and his wife opened the door to find 5 men in black suits carrying him inside. So I find it hard to believe that his father would be allowed to get away with this kind of stuff with no repercussions. Anyways, continue, Alex.
Drugs.
I've read about Timothy Leary using DMT. I've actually read his personal trip report when he did it with the guy formerly known as Ron Dallas, his assistant professor, as well as I believe a Hindu monk. It's either a Hindu monk or a Hare Krishna and a psychiatrist or psychologist. It's been a long time since I've read this. Look up Timothy Leary DMT trip report. You'll know what I'm talking about. They all do an intramuscular dose of 60 milligrams, which must have been a hell of a ride, I would imagine. But yeah, what they described was nowhere near a gray alien. They didn't even really talk about entities much. Like this is why, like they more so talked about being in like a karmic web that just went on forever and ever and ever. So that's why I mean these are suggestible experiences. People did ayahuasca, you know, for thousands of years, and the only entities they spoke of were like jaguars and shit. You know, the experiences, at least the reports, anyways, have changed drastically over the years, and it could be collective unconscious, but I think it's more suggestibility. Anyways, continue, Alex.
Again, I know dozens and dozens and dozens of people that go to ayahuasca and DMT calls because they're all seeing and interacting with the same thing. It might be a 200-foot tall red mantis. It might be a giant demon. It might be a bunch of
I still have yet to see praying mantis.
gray aliens. These are our brains are all psychic and they're just meeting up with somebody for 1 liter and the group's causing hallucination. Maybe that's happening. Or we're breaking through and something real is happening. The other thing you read about the Bible says you must go to the source first and take pharmakia. And the symbol of the grinder and the bowl of drugs, right? Because that's the limitations in every culture. We would grind up hallucinogens, take them, and then go, for God's sake, build a pyramid or build an altar and throw babies into it. Whether it was the Babylonians or whether it was the
Okay, the whole Moloch thing I think is overplayed by Alex Jones. I mean, like, I know he snuck into Bohemian Grove and he filmed all these crazy rich people doing the killing of care or whatever. But that was supposed to be like a Christian mockery of, like, what they considered pagan beliefs.
Egyptians or whether it was the Druids or whether it was the Aztecs.
Never heard of Druids taking drugs.
A lot of people don't realize that the term debauchery means the parties that they would have where they were drunk using human orgy piles in a lid. The idea that
I don't know what he's talking about there, but If you want to talk about drug and orgy clubs, it was your American presidents who went to the Hellfire Club, and they would have their alcohol and opium-fueled orgies, probably with hashish too. But those certainly weren't Moloch worshippers. Those were the founding fathers. Look it up.
That sort of look at angel, this is why I just think it's a really interesting topic, and I did think that maybe Bill and you can't necessarily explore these because they can be partake a little bit more. That's not a condemnation of their choices. I just think they may be somewhat uncomfortable with this idea. When we do lower,
And let's be clear. You're not New York.
yeah.
Because if you rest around the world, this is the Roman history, and have a kid tied up to a pole and run in with a wolf skin on his back and kill a kid. Exactly. These take from like voodoo trying to interface with something evil. So they brought a Joe Rogan, they're nice guys. I'm your spirit guide. Come visit me.
Where are the green beans? Green beans.
Over in the fridge.
Why do you think aliens are in space? They're going to come from other dimensions. I agree, they're not aliens. They've always been with us. It's through animal hybrids now. We have babies genetically edited. We have government. I mean, it's all here. And I'm not saying I even have the answers. All I'm saying is the establishment is obsessed with communicating the informant via drugs with other entities.
I can
Just
borrow
like
them.
in every history book and every culture, they always were.
And I do think that's important for people to know that, listen, I know they'll say, well, Christians believe that God told them this. Okay, absolutely. The difference is if you look at a lot of pagan cultures, like some of the cultures that you just mentioned, they all say,
Okay, Christianity, if anything, is more inspired by drug use than most pagan Celtic cultures out there. I mean, it's either drug use or schizophrenia, I think, that induced all these visions of aliens, Ezekiel's wheel, all that. And, if you look at the pictures of how, or not aliens, angels really look, I get confused when he calls demons and aliens, but when you look at how angels really look, they are absolutely terrifying and look like something straight out of a psychedelic trip. That's why they say, be not afraid. But, even Israeli scholars have looked into these visions and impute them either to psilocybin mushrooms or, the burning acacia bush. That part I don't really buy. I think Moses was probably just delirious in the desert. I mean, there was a whole Jewish sect that was devoted to having hallucinations by just tripping out in the desert from dehydration, sunstroke, all that stuff. But anyways, do tell us how, uncorrupt your religion is, please.
well, God told me this. I mean, usually there's some kind of drug or chemically induced influence when you look at the great actions of barbers. Even talking about the lower level, they say it's a lower dimension. You can access the devil through drugs. And that's evil and dark. They know through the higher levels, the chemicals in the brain, your prayers, your emotional flow, your power with God. That's when you get love and grace and the universe. It's all good. But you get into the occult, all of it's bad. None of it's good. Right. And there is something to talk about lower conditions quite a bit. Even just marijuana has a
Christianity, all good. All good, genocide, enslaving people for thousands of years, like gross pederasty in priests over the last 100 years, repressing people's sexuality, all good. All good.
good thing. And in a certain, there's a component to that probably is a little bit of tightness. That's why the Bible says that wine warm heart, good spring, I don't know, good cheer, I don't know, I'm very tight. Jesus turned the water into wine and turned it into right. Exactly. Well, it's very important to notice
It's funny you say that because they mostly just serve grape juice at churches now. That's what they did when I was in Catholic school.
kept fermenting until someone was drinking it. But there's specifically a verse about no wine in it. I don't know the exact verse. I'll have to get Gerald back to you about it. Bringing in a good cheer, warm.
Fun fact, one of the popes, a couple hundred years ago, I believe, either in the mid 1800s or early 1900s, gave his blessing to use his likeness on a bottle of cocaine, just saturated wine. He loved this stuff. And, well, I mean, you can see why, right?
Powerful spirit, but it does praise wine. And again, it wouldn't really praise wine in that sense if it were grape juice. There is a value to it.
Well, things come in moderation. Yes, wine doesn't make you see demons.
No, exactly. My point is there's value in a mild social lubricant that's very different from changing the way your brain functions to the point where you're not able to make the same kinds of decisions, even though wine is a little bit
My sacrament is better than your sacrament.
Whether it's voodoo or black magic or any of this, so that something else can come in and run you.
Oh, so now Avatar is like not a social commentary. It's an occultist ruse to neutralize us to the evil satanic cabals out there. Got it.
But you see what people experience like that. Ayahuasca, DMT, it is safe. And so that's why I like Joey's and I've got the hatred of DMT. I'm like, no freaking way, man. It's not even a fear-based thing. It's the losing control and then like.
Okay, I always say this. I find it hard to trust people who don't do psychedelics. Especially the ones who say like, "Oh, yes, and why?" They say, "Oh, I'm scared of losing control." Losing control of what? What, do you think you're going to become Patrick Bateman or a werewolf? Okay. Oh, what's the time? I've gotta run, you know? I want you losing control.
I'm in a damn room with a 200 tenants outside of one of the crew members.
That sounds awesome. Sweet, dude. Yeah, submit to me. You know, sounds like the mist. The mist, everyone was getting ripped apart. And I didn't see a single praying mantis in the mist. Oh my god, this is going to take forever for me to get through this. So I might have to do this in 2 parts, but we'll see. We'll see. But, I mean, it's saying submit to you because he was probably going, stop it, stop it, like, stop. And he's going, just calm down, surrender to the experience, it'll be over. I've had that. But, you know, that's what happens when you fight against something you can't control. If you've done something that you can't control, you should just submit to it regardless. I mean, not in all cases, maybe, like if you're kidnapped or whatever, but, you know, because you fell for someone's, like, duplicity. But in terms of if you're going to take something like DMT, you should surrender to the experience, and it won't be so bad.
Yeah.
it doesn't sound very fun to me.
So I love it. I love Eddie Bravo. He is so, like, hilariously, like, I don't want to say stupid, but like he has such like a childlike, stubborn childlike mindset when it comes to like. And I love how his response to every criticism is, "Look it up, bro. Do the research. Look into it."
I don't think they're coming. I think they're traveling. Maybe they're coming. Maybe they're coming from low. He seemed as though he was more open to your point of view. I'm not taking any particular side here, saying I agree with you 100% Joe or Eddie, but is there have there been some off-air conversations with Eddie where you're maybe witnessing a little bit?
I mean, I think Eddie overall is a Christian, and I think Joe's got along. And I had a lot of off-air conversations with those guys, but I mean, I think Joe's really a genuine guy who wants to get along with everybody.
I'd rather be around people trying to get me to do DMT than people trying to force me to become a Christian. Like you can tell they're scheming to make their friends like join their dogmatic sect. Sorry, Christians. I mean, I have nothing wrong with you if you're like keep your poise to yourself, as Christopher Hitchens. So, I mean, elegantly, but simply put it. Yeah. Anyways,
And that's how we all got sucked in to be nice to corporate establishment. And then something nice backfired to it. And you kind of got hit back, so you did a good job.
Smells good.
I guess on Thursday, was it Wednesday, whatever it was, Tuesday, they just went at me. It was Tuesday of this week. Confronted them. I'm just glad. I don't think those guys are bad guys. I think they're good guys. But yeah, I've been in the market speculating on this because I'm sure it's real. Science is real. They say that I'm we were just willing to astronauts die back then. We're not willing to astronauts die today. And there was a secret
Is that a good thing?
military operation where a lot of them did die. Like Neil Armstrong, who was a test pilot of the S-15 and things. There were other guys that died in secret missions that paved the way to become a mission. That's something that's a thing. Oh, Jones says the moon landing's fake, and then they never showed up, etc. All these things I didn't say, those that I didn't know.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. I've watched all the podcasts with Alex Jones on Joe Rogan. You know, I watch as many of those as I can because they are entertaining as hell. But I remember him saying many times vehemently, I do not believe in the notion that the moon landing is fake. Which is proof that he can be rational. Once upon a time.
I can't believe we went on the moon. Oh, yeah, well, Stephen, 90% of what they say I said is like, I'll say Hillary Clinton is personally responsible for murdering children in Syria by funding the Arab Spring, where men take children and murder them and torture them or sell their body parts. And I'm reading news on
Funding the Arab Spring? What? That doesn't make any sense at all. The Arab Spring was something that, yes, while it was using CIA technology, the dark web, how was Hillary Clinton involved in that? I've never heard that before. I mean, I've seen this video, but I must have missed that.
Stephen Kelly edited it on Fox News and said that I said in a piece of place they were murdering in their basement. I mean, it's just next level how they lie. If you do believe that we landed on the moon, I just want to make sure that everyone is clear. And I want to do this. I believe, like you talked about with your father, when he used, I believe
No steak is ever complete without steak spice.
my grandfather was a Colonel Union.
Works better in a marinade, but I didn't have time.
All firepower stations would be virtually nickel and been trained by my grandfather. He was out of Michigan. And, my dad was an astronaut for this, right? Because they were working with people of very Western North American personal firefighting to go on to work for NASA. So sometimes personal experience does inform a worldview. It's hard to communicate that though from those people who haven't had that same experience. This is one thing I wanted to ask. You talked about on Joe Rogan stuff like that. This is a very personal conversation. I'm glad that we're doing this in an extended version. You talked about sort of the psychosis that comes in with seeing a lot of these conspiracies, seeing them play out, and then maybe at one point you were looking for a conspiracy.
Exhibit A, why Alex Jones should not do DMT.
Conspiracies in too many places because you had seen the corruption. And I think that's fair. You brought up the syphilis.
Yeah, Alex, if seeing conspiracy theories in the media gave you psychosis, I don't think DMT would be doing you any favors, mate.
In Guatemala, Peru. I think about Peru, but they brought up Peru for Guatemala. Yeah, the parents were living in politics, and it seemed unravelable for Americans to be put into things. Exactly. So once you see 10 or 15 times that criminals in government manufacture that thing, you start projecting the pattern. And I was here to be true. I mean, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I kind of got where so much stuff was fake. I thought, well, this is fake. Well, that's fake. No. That's just what they had organized. Most people in government aren't bad, but good on that.
In other words, you're living in a fantasy world.
So I'm getting old. It was like a psychosis where everything was a conspiracy, everything was fake, and I would see the world I wanted to see through. That was me.
Have you grown out of that, buddy?
Honest about it. And I really learned that because some of my listeners, they would then project onto me stuff that I knew wasn't true. They were so sure that I was protesting, or they were so sure that I was covering up Sandy Hook once I said I thought it happened.
Okay, I watched that as it happened because I used to be a bit of a conspiracy theorist, like full on believe that shit. And I saw the Sandy Hook documentary. Alex, buddy, you were ordered to pay restitution to families for a reason. You may have felt for something stupid, but you still put out He still doxed families of dead children. Bravo, buddy.
Yeah, but isn't that the media and the government's fault? And they lie so much, they can caught lying so much that once they get caught, you can't punish people anymore. It's not like my kid got caught. And I told the truth about something. I said, hey, what's my city?
Of course you do.
I'm out there in the yard, right? I see the motorcycle, or I got to do the skateboard. I've watched it 50 times. There's never been anything out there. And when it got to me, I don't believe it. Even though there was a brand new skateboard or bicycle out there. So at a certain point, the psychosis is, what is it? Like, you sound like it's wrong, and it's wrong the other extreme. Or I want to know how to chill. We'll go find the versus right. And
I love that conspiracy. That Alex Jones looks like, or no, that Alex Jones is actually Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks never died. But at the same time, that's kind of an insult to Bill Hicks. And, you know, Bill Hicks he has a special place in my heart. Fucking love you, dude. We're, we're all one. And I'll see you somewhere, someday. Something. Bill. Oh, what a pitiful existence, Alex. It must be terrible.
Maybe done that in the past with a conspiracy where you sort of seen confirmation bias, or say, no, it's doing true, and maybe you did that.
yeah, that's what it is. It's confirmation bias.
Okay, I have one reason that will completely debunk why he is not Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks would not put himself into bankruptcy for buying at least, or up to 10 Rolexes a day. He wasn't a materialist like that. That money would have gone to buying Marlboro Lights or Marlboro Golds or whatever they are.
Because he's been operating Northwoods and Gladio, and Golden Thompson, and blah, 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 and you see, that's smaller. I had more people walk on the street and go, look at Jesse Smollett, that was famous. You know, backed off on Sandy Hook. Well, I never even looked. I was just questioning. I wasn't the guy that first brought up Sandy Hook. I questioned it. I said I thought it happened.
So, are you just abandoning accountability for that? Well, the jury sure didn't think so. Actually, is there a jury in a civil trial? Either way, you were found guilty and you had to pay restitution. So, but you know, keep saying it's psychosis or mental illness, anything but mea fucking culpa, right?
We got it down as it's real. You put the flat out there. But like Jesse Smollett, we're lying. How many of these hate crimes are fake? So when there was a real hate crime, if I question it, am I saying hate crimes don't happen? No. But it's like babies and incubators against the Iraq War. They knew it was a lie that had PR firm. So there was more enemies going on in incubators. I would say it's a mistake. And then they turn out it's real in the future.
I haven't heard that one. I gotta look into that.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but I had the question. See how it kind of, I say it's a psychosis. It's a psychosis.
I have one question. Why were these babies in incubators?
When our authority figures lie to us over and over and over again, then we start not knowing.
I don't disagree with you there.
Explain what's true.
Right. I understand that, and I would
Still not an excuse though.
this. And when I was watching you with he's one in Bravo, so that's why I'm saying the second Bravo is a little bit different, right? For example, you want to say those going all through, you bring them up. You brought two different issues that I was church.
They didn't know the governor of Virginia wants to build everything.
Well, no, that was a mistake. He was trying to sort of be facetious there, and I think that you didn't understand that Eddie Bravo was being facetious.
No, I know he was later, but I'm thinking Joe did.
He's so shameless. Like he pretends like he apologizes for all this stuff. But like Then he goes around and just loops right back to what he was saying before.
No, I'm not knocking your brother. That is normal enough that you were 10 years ago.
We've done changed my mind on abortion, and most people don't believe it when I tell them what abortion actually is. And then most people who are change their mind.
I think most people who are like pro-choice know what abortion is. So, vacuum out the, you know.
Every single person disagrees with me. Once we run out the fetal chart, if they are pro-choice today, they go, we have to support abortion. Every single one of these has been true ever. All
And I've seen your video, it's like 10 million views. That's what I'm saying. That's why we're shutting down. They're reasonable. They cannot stand us talking to them.
that was a total, pat on the back, eh?
Oh, no, we're getting that around. This is the point I want to bring up. For example, you start getting around Nazis, like we talked about Tupac, and yes, all very interesting issues. But for me, this is why I haven't really delved into a lot of conspiracies. And I have some others because
Again, your definition of clockwork elf is nowhere near any other I've heard.
people like I know this is more common. But it's because when I look at all these conspiracies, I go, hold on a second. We don't need a conspiracy to prove that socialism, that communism, that social dictators have murdered hundreds of millions of people. We don't need a conspiracy.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Stalin did murder a fuckload of people. But that's still, it's like anything. Like the church. The church doesn't have to be inherently bad. They didn't inherently, it wasn't their ideas that killed all these people. It was the crazy people infected by those ideas who were thinking, oh, because I'm a proponent of this, these people are subhumans and I can kill them. So, how about that, buddy?
So you show the biggest fight right now. You look at Venezuela, and you then you look here in the United States, you go, well, you didn't do it right. You weren't shot out before, but you didn't do that. Right, exactly. To me, I go, well, I want to keep my powder dry for those.
Just on the note of Venezuela, let me give you a little, consider this analogy, if you will. So, Chavez, he had a means of torture called La Tomba. And it was, essentially, they put journalists in the white room and they would blast them with, just, white noise, cold, and they would leave them there for years, and it was torture by sensory deprivation. And you know where they learned that from? The CIA duty. Exact same thing, or it may have just been the military, but the CIA probably had hand in coming up with it. Seems like something they would do, but because they were kind of notorious for psyops, right? North Korean prisoners in the Korean War. But do continue about how your fucking country is.
That are out in plain sight. Do you ever have any regrets that maybe kind of lumped you off of kind of broke you off of a conspiracy guy when I know that you've also talked about these other sort of macro issues?
Well, that's exactly what's going on. It's easy in the air 4 hours a day. Because I've learned, I used to do satire and fun, and I used to do devil's advocate. I don't do it now because they take it out of the context. And they edit it together. I showed the video 15 years. Look, notice most of the stuff you'll see on national television is audio. Right. Because they're editing. It's obvious when it's not done on video. So I'm not even admitting myself. I said some things that are wrong. I love the word sometimes. I certainly learned a lot about older. And especially since I've been kind of put through the business of older.
Funny you say that because you're still not taking responsibility for any of the awful stuff you've done. Yeah, no, the news is not, that's not a great comparison. The news is not good. It's not a good thing. Doesn't matter if it's CNN, Fox News, whatever. I mean, Leslie Jones Stewart, sometimes Bill Maher, sometimes. It's just, it's a farce, and it's a way of stringing people along so people who have terrible intentions can profit and keep people submissive. So, if you're the news, Thanks for contributing to that. I'm like, I wonder who's behind your weird iodine supplements and everything.
Says Afghan war ended as well soldiers got a victory bonus. But most of what I do is look at objectively. Here's an info based on a top story. Dozens arrested for erecting anti-migrant Christian cross in Greece. Government announces it's hurtful to Muslims. Arrest area. That's dangerous. And that's a real story. Points to the government making its own announcement saying, don't shoot Christians, try doing that. So 95% of what I do is already cut and dry, real information. I can't even get people to admit what's going.
But wait, you just said you went into psychosis because you were inundated with misinformation, and now 95% of what you're saying is true. Yeah, your math doesn't really add up on that one there, buddy.
What you just said. Socialism within 10 years, every country faces collapse, total nightmares, communism even worse.
Your country is full of socialism. So is mine.
We have to test it again. And so a lot of this is trying to fix it. It's on its face. And it's how do we fix it? Hillary.
And I'm not trying to defend socialism. I think it works in some places. But it's like nuclear power plants, one of those things that I don't know if humanity can wield without fucking up. To clarify, I just think there are characterizations of socialism. It's just really dishonest.
So then they believe their own propaganda and show up homeland and show up Comedy Central happening and build the image of Godzilla coming out of the ocean in Tokyo. And so now 2.5 years later,
That's an awesome image. Can you picture Alex Jones like you know that video of him where it's like remixed to be like a folk song, and you see him he's walking out of the river, the lake, whatever, or no, I guess river, whatever the fuck it is. He says he goes for such smile certain every day because he's a man. And he eats meat because he's a man. And he's walking out just like that. Could you imagine that, but like superimposed over Godzilla and he's the same height? The smashing buildings. I'd pay to see that movie. Or well, I'd pirate it anyway.
blasting with tanks and missiles and everything.
Really? Is that the truth? Bigger, more successful? Dude, he just got sued for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. At least.
Yes, they get a lot of things that for a month it's really hard, but then it totally grew over here. They're like, put his gene back in the bottle.
Yeah. Because you can't put two fish back in this tube. Oh, that's nationality.
And I'm not just trying to say, oh, I'm great, oh, I'm so successful. I'm simply.
Why, Stephen? Because genies are based on jinn, and jinn are Islamic demons? I know where you're coming from, you sly bugger, you sly fox, you.
They don't even get what they're doing.
Okay, he didn't have the courage to have you on, buddy. What happened was you showed up at his house without his permission with Tim Dillon, and he was like, oh, what the fuck, I'm probably going to get, chewed out, but not fired for this, so whatever. He was obviously, like, holding back a lot of irritation, though, that's for sure.
That's the thing you should. Yeah, I was concerned. No, you're right. I don't care. He goes, I wasn't showing up. So I just get busy with life and no more conflict. You're right. It's called more conflict, not anymore, not really asking people how to do it. I feel, and I told the other day, I feel so good because I'm in paradise hell. Twitter, he goes, watch, just don't announce it yet. And he
Of course he is. Of course he feels good, man, with all his testosterone shots and stem cell shots and whatever other weird supplements he's taking, all those like kratom pillows he's throwing back. You know, all those bottles of Buffalo Trace he's drinking every night for free because the con man basically deceived him into being a spokesperson for bourbon. I'm sure he feels great. But not for the reasons you proposed.
The only issue I disagree with liberals on is the Second Amendment. So, because Tim Pool sort of sarcastically said basically, so
Almost.
I think you're just more liberal. And Joe said, yeah, I'm very liberal except for the Second Amendment. In my interactions with him, that hasn't been the case. Sure, with the First Amendment, I wouldn't consider him liberal unless he's maybe sort of aloof on his last.
I was hotel libertarian, and I think he kind of lit on LA, trying to get along the main track. It's nuts. He likes bows. So he's like, well, wait, I was a guy.
Yeah, he likes to talk about hunting like fucking way too much.
I was a libertarian and a really smart guy, but he's a father, you know, he's pushing 60, and, you know, he wants to just get along, and I get that.
He looks very weird for 60, and it's because of all those weird shots he's getting. Like he looks like you ever see those like really crude like clay animation videos? Well, he kind of looks like that, but like in his recent videos, like you know, stuff like really looks like he's made out of clay or something. I don't mean to be mean, but like just I mean just cosmetics and stuff like that just really creeps me out. You know?
You can't just get along. Your audience isn't just going to let you sit there and play agitate 10 monkeys on him. He's the great feedback he's gotten. He's not really going to win, but he now gets that people didn't hate him. They just wanted to grow hair like you've done. I'm not kissing your ass, he was true. Some of the people
Get around, you two.
like our guys who did not completely throw him under the bus like that, man. Most of the conservatives like pissed on my grave. Said, oh yeah, he's bad. Oh, he's bad.
Whoa, that's not what I saw, dude. I saw everyone rushing to your defense when you got banned on the right. And I mean everyone. You know, Tim Pool, Gal McKinnis, so on and so forth. They were all like, you know, chomping at the bit to be like, this is, you know, fascism, what they're doing. You know, this is, you know, a violation of the First Amendment. Now, I'm not saying it's right that they banned you, but also, like, what I am saying though is, like, a lot of people came to your defense. I mean, I didn't see anyone on the right. Even David Rubin, that fucking wet rag. I don't even think I'm more of a wet tampon. You know how they expand, and just become, you know, even more bloated. Sorry, I'm that kind of loser who laughs at his own jokes. But even he was saying stuff, and he's like, you know, obviously treading on eggshells whenever he talks about anything because he doesn't want to lose his, like, you know, last 1,000 viewers. Anyways.
So, and I don't want this to get easier, but I know that why didn't you have me on after? First off, our voting contact doesn't work anymore. But do you ever maybe regret sort of going to war with a lot of conservatives? So there was one point where I don't say I don't hang out, I don't know this, revenge, you're on your show, which is not true. I assume that you were shooting from the hip. But, you know, that's the kind of thing that can kind of run people the wrong way where sometimes, oh, hold on a second.
No, I understand your problem. I understand. All the time. But you're on there all the time.
But you do that whenever people accuse you of something.
You're irritated. And later on,
It's like your go-to defense.
why did I say that? But that's not true. It's almost like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I have something on from Nova. As I've gotten older, I've gotten so confident. I used to have to worry about stuff. Now I'm in the government, and I'm trying to get a government. Because now, I don't know, you're not as old as I am. Wait till you're like 45. Here's the problem. The stress never knocked me down. It made me go crazy. All the attacks, all the lies. I became kind of crazy crocodile. Started snapping at me. I love your show. I always love your show. Right,
That's a great image. Crocodile is crossed with Alex Jones snapping at people. Right, crocodiles don't bark.
I remember saying that.
Jones is off and these crazy conspiracy bits. It can happen to anyone. It very likely at some point will happen to us on the platform. But yeah,
So you guys are already there. You're past there, all of you.
Yeah, sometimes
Just
those
speaking
things.
I gotta
frankly.
apologize to you. I don't understand that belief exactly. I don't have to lie to you. I guess you're calling your opinion wrong. You're scared of me. You're scared of Josie, I just have a Bench Shapiro. I just don't. I just don't get. A man who did, like a fighter. And you're right. You don't like him. I'm not even against him. I just don't get Michael Savage with top ratings is taken off the air, and then all his radio stations give him just a zero.
I have no idea. I didn't even know there was a Russian opinion. But Ben's been a longtime friend of mine. He actually, I met him training Breitbart when I was in California, where he they copied me from Breitbart anything. And actually, I had an
Andrew,
early
right
contact with
for
him
it.
to turn out to be, hey, you're enjoying being chairman of the Angel Fund.
Guy
And
is
started going to
smiling and off with the platform.
as part of his main Breitbart, actually, he started going to attack me on YouTube about a video that I did in camp early on. And Andrew calls that person up. I don't even want to honor this person's airtime because I don't want to get into specifics of this. Some of these are just personal. I did a video on Detroit where I talked about bear sightings in Detroit. So I talked about, the Flowing Cow that run far left since 1961. We're talking about sort of this iconic model leftist city. And in there was a throwaway joke where I said,
Iconic
got
leftist
so
city,
bad it
dude.
fell in the back
Detroit
of
is a
my
fucking war
car.
zone,
But
as
there's
far
been
as
bear
everyone
sightings.
knows.
Now, the bear sightings have, I'm going to get to the point here. The bear sightings have
Please
all
do.
actually occurred outside of city limits, but very close to Detroit. So this person just rakes me over the coals and attacks me as a liar, kind of went this conspiracy route.
You are a liar.
I don't know who I was working for.
You lie all the time.
Andrew called him, Z. I almost slipped, and said, listen.
Dude, you had to get Ann Coulter to get your back on that? That's sad, man.
Don't attack other conservatives. Certainly not if we're running the same platform. Did we lose Alex? Yeah, people watching right now, terrestrially. Yep, we did have to cut. We just lost Skype. So Alex, this is not a conspiracy. We just lost the connection here. Long story short, hand your heart to our call for service to do it. A rule of mine is do not attack other conservatives, particularly if you haven't spoken with them in private and tried to work it out first. And this person refused to retract it, and this person was no longer welcome contributing to any of Andrew's sites. So that's kind of been a defining, again, because I was just a comedian actor, and then kind of set it into with Andrew as I came up with this movement more, I think 19, 20 years old. That's been a guiding rule for me. That's what I'm trying to get back to. Do you think that if we could do it all over, that would be something that maybe we would do regularly?
Absolutely. I've gotten where I have attacks with people. I used to actually fall out with myself about being infighter.
Oh, really?
People don't stand up to you when you're under
Well,
attack.
yeah, you have a weird way of proving that.
Let them see what it feels like as misery loves company.
Right.
But I've been trying to get back to my roots of not doing that. And the truth is, I find Ben Shapiro incredibly handsome. I've got a painting of him on my wall at my home.
You're not a Ben Shapiro, but like Ann Coulter,
I got a crush on Ben Shapiro. That's so cute.
And then you both kind of found yourself going back to the same thing with Trump. Did you two ever meet? Was that ever awkward? Because you two have some really deep
Yes,
connections.
I did run into her at the RNC, and I did run into her at a few other events. I've met her on a few times. And listen, I get where she was coming from now, and I've moved. Here's the thing: I used to always be kind of liberal, and I moved more towards libertarian. This happens to most people.
No way.
As I get older, I think more.
No way.
So I used to kind of be a libertarian.
Not liberal. Probably like, Democrat. Or no, what is it? Classic liberal. Which is really like a Republican.
Liberal, and kind of a libertarian, and then now a little bit more conservative in my views. So yeah. And used to, I'd read Ann Coulter saying something. She wouldn't put satire at the end. So she'd go, the Japanese ought to really be thankful for Fukushima. That radiation's really good for you.
Oh my
And
god,
I'm like,
that's so fucked up that you said that.
You're sick, Jeff. But I was taking it as literal. Now I get that a lot of what she does is satirical. So I like Ann Coulter.
I don't think so.
Really
I don't think so. No, Ann Coulter, I don't think so.
No, seriously. The point is, I don't want to fight with anybody. You're absolutely right. I think you and I and Ben Shapiro, we should all
Have an orgy.
Because you said that I worked for him, and I was just letting you know this is somewhat irritating because I had to feel like you and Phil Hicks, a bunch of comments going, no, I don't know where this is coming from. Let me ask you this though. We really need to know, if you want people to know Alex Jones, if you want people right now watching, they should know Alex Jones as what? want to be known for? What do you want your legacy to always be? You've been a controversial figure, like you said, you kind of transitioned from more liberal libertarian to where you are now. How would you want to be remembered and known?
As somebody that wants to live in a free country and a free world and believes in humanity and loves private property and God and the Second Amendment and
Spare me.
and who wants to see that continue
Spare me.
and wants to defeat people like AOC and little vampire bat Kim Jong-un and the rest of it. Again, isn't going to back down.
That is a great way of describing it.
I believe in America. I bet on America. I think America is coming back.
I'm just picturing the Kim Jong-il lineage as like Dracula's, and just reproducing. It's not even the sons over the years. You know, it's just a vampire who regenerates at the end of every cycle. Could you imagine that? Maybe that's who Kim Jong-il is. Who am I to say? Who am I to say otherwise?
People like you and I and all your viewers and listeners who are the brain trust of this country, the people watching you right now are no doubt those folks, those Americans.
Oh God, I hope not. So we're screwed.
Something special is. There is something that is
Gold sticker, buddy.
independent and exceptional. People want to come here. And so it's that spirit of America that I'm searching for. And I think I found it. And I'm just glad to be here with you. And you have those words of actually sitting versus what Contributing is obsessed with. Visit Infowars.com or Newswars.com. Stephen, anytime you're not busy with your hard work or busy on my show.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, and like I said, we wanted to be in South by Southwest here this year, but I've been Dan, well, very well member of my staff, as far as I know, so we'll have to find some other people, and it's been a weird spell there at South by Southwest. Infowars.com. Alex, thank you for taking the time, man. I appreciate it. And heal up with your bicycle.
There you have it, folks. I gotta say, I really hope I don't get copyright striked for this because my channel's too small for me to really do anything about it. But as you can see, I probably talked more than they did. Yeah, I think this is probably, if it doesn't get taken down, probably my favorite video yet. After I finish shooting, I'm going to go do some DMT. Oh God, I hope you had as much fun as I did there. And yeah, I hope that's enough to make you hit that subscribe button, baby. And yeah, dinner is halfway served. I just need to finish the salad, but you know, I won't drag this out any longer than it has to be. Peace out.